The byes are over. It's now a 4-week sprint to the finish, and we are underway here in Week 15. And no run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Well, the Giants ready to go now on offense, and under center is the man in possession of a new contract for 2023 and beyond. In his 5th season now, Daniel Jones.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss, and despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
Jones looking to throw right away. And he'll get this up. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. That's to the sideline and incomplete. This offense, Charles, well, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 and a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, but something like 4 of the last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Here's Carr to throw. Little short pass here to Hill. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to him. Hey.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mecole Hardman with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 11 carries, 70 yards.
Nice solid showing from him last week. Didn't blow the roof off with his numbers, but he certainly had a quality day and produced when called upon.
Now Jones. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Jones and Shepard with a connection there for a Giants first down. Barkley inside handoff. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. This defense for the Saints, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling
was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. But what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they're spotted. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They run it again with Kamara. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. A couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Trying to get that one to Chris Olave, and it's 2nd down. You talk about this giant defense. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On play action, it's Carr.
This one swung out to Williams.
And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can click and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Second and 6.
Carr going to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. He's got room to roam. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Kamara is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
From back at the 3 now. This is 3rd and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Come on, set. Hey, check that. Ready,
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Now it's Chris Boswell on for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Boswell's kick is good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
And the Giants ready to come out now.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive.
Throwing Jones.
A quick pass here has got Shepard.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still first down.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. Nifty move. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play and move on.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Nothing the score after 1 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation.
Here we go, hey.
Operating from the gun. Jones.
Short throw, going to be caught by Waller.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now whistles here and a flag down. I think a Giant jumped early. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Zach Bull in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
It'll be a 39-yard punt. Yards on the return, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
A gain of 8 on the keeper and a 1st down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gun.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
To throw, it's Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down.
That's to the sideline and pulled in.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd down and 4.
Hey, we're good.
Olave motioning to the left. Quick throw to Olave. Touchdown! Chris Olave.
His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Saints are able to stretch out their lead.
Had the option to hand that one off and run it himself, but instead, a really easy quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
But no, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible. Now has him within throwing range of a first down.
He'll find Hodgins there complete.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Back to throw. Jones. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Jones on 1st and 10.
Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. Looking to throw. Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones.
Quickly into the hands of Waller.
Touchdown, Giants. Darren from 17 yards out. Giant. Into that deficit.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
But no run back here. Fair catch, and this will come out to the 25. Set to take over once again. Out comes the Saints offense.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
93.
Play action. Now it's Carr. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 43 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver. And as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
He completes it to Olave.
And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 25 yards that time. Now Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
70, Timberwolf. Let go.
That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Ready.
Here's Cunningham. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Here we go.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15.
We'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line.
He'll start with a give to Kamara.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. But the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Carr completes it. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's at 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
On 1st and 10, a handoff. Nope, it's a reverse. And that won't work out for big yardage, but a decent gain there on the trickeration.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Second down and 3.
Winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
It's no accident they've been moving the ball well all game long. This offensive line has done an excellent job adapting to everything the defense is throwing at them and creating holes for their runners.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And they'll begin by running the option.
Jones hit and the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. Boswell for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And New York set to take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a Giant first down on a gain of 16. Up the middle with Barkley. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Kid had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that one complete to Hodgins. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 31-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. A first down carry for Barkley. Touchdown, Giants! Saquon Barkley, 31 yards. And the Giants are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. They're going to run it with Barkley. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the two-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
In motion left is Thomas. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 45-yard line. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Inside handoff now. Miller. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
Azeez Ojulari pushing in and dropping him.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. New York's offense back out there and set to go. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Here's Jones throwing on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Shepard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And quickly, they get to the line. Now Jones on 1st down.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Jones throw complete here to Waller.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now Jones. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing, because he just about threw that one into the 1st row.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Saints will have the football back. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
They'll start things on 1st with Torrey Cohen.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Here's 3rd and 10.
They'll give it up the middle to Miller. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here comes the Saints punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
In possession switching back to the New York Giants. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Oh, trying to fit it into Shepard, but it's intercepted. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5.
With such a costly interception, nearly a pick 6, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field, probably giving the quarterback a few side eyes along the way. They've got to see if they can stop a score.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
19, right in, Mustang 19.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he fires one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
New York set to take the field.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to throw. Jones. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Half 88, half 88, half 88.
Throwing Jones. He'll get this out to Barkley complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. A short one here secured by the tight end Waller. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. They'll look to throw again. One last shot at the end zone. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the game will continue for at least one more play.
To not finish a game on a defensive penalty, that's why they get one more untimed attempt.
And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Just a formality now, but here's the extra point. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still.